Hello and welcome to your digital Dayton Metro Library. My name is Jordan and I use he, him, and his pronouns. And I am proud to host Rainbow Resources, the podcast that helps you connect to LGBTQIA+ and allied resources in and around the greater Dayton and Montgomery County region. Without further ado, let's head to our first segment, Q+A. Today we're joined by Sarah Dahlston. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. So, Sarah Dahlston, who are you? You're Sarah Dahlston.
I'm Sarah Dahlston. My pronouns are she, her. I am the VP of Education and Workforce Development at Planned Parenthood Southwest Ohio.
Nice, that's wonderful. So, what is Planned Parenthood Southwest Ohio? I imagine you have long business cards with...
Yes. Yes, so Planned Parenthood Southwest Ohio, sometimes known as PPSWO, is a provider of reproductive and sexual health care, education, and advocacy across the Southwest Ohio region. We have 23 counties within our service region.
Wow.
We are down to 3 physical locations. So we have our health center here in Dayton, we have our surgical center also in Dayton, and we have a center in Cincinnati which houses both family planning and a surgical center.
So, Sarah, how did you first get involved with PPSWO?
I actually started as an intern in graduate school in 2014 for maybe 6 months or a year. And then after graduate school, I got a job at a health department and I worked there for a little under 2 years. I always knew that this was the field I wanted to be in, so I just kind of hung around and waited for something to open. And in 2016, a health educator position opened and I came on board at PPSWO and I've been here ever since.
That's fantastic. 2014, let's see, I think that's when Weird Al Yankovic's last album came out, so which is how everyone remembers the year 2014.
Exactly. Not the year I finished grad school, but the year that his last album came out.
So how does PPSWO support LGBTQIA+ and allied people in the area?
So first, we create inclusive, welcoming, affirming environments for all of our Q+ staff and our patients and our visitors, our community members. We have a very physical presence in the communities that we serve, being at prides and different events like that. And then in addition, we provide gender-affirming hormone therapy to adults, and we provide resources and referrals out for other affirming services that we are not currently a provider of.
Well, that's phenomenal. You know, it's so important when people, especially when they go for medical care, which is already such a nerve-inducing experience, right. You really want to be greeted by some warm, welcoming people.
Right, and we provide both healthcare and education in a trauma-informed way that recognizes the experiences that people might have had with past or with other healthcare providers. I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't talk about education also.
Please.
The way that we provide education is inclusive and affirming, down to just making sure that the examples we give when we're talking about relationships have neutral names or multiple combination of pronouns. We're trying to make it very clear that different relationship dynamics and different people and different experiences exist. It's also clear in the way that we teach things like anatomy. Like instead of saying a man's penis, we would say a person's penis, or when someone has their period. So we're very intentional to make sure that we are not gendering body parts and we're not gendering experiences, and that goes a long way with the Q+ folks that we teach.
Absolutely. You know, that's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, here at the library, we believe education is for everyone. So, yeah, we love to hear that. Sarah, could you share a time when you saw that PPSWO was truly making a difference for the community?
Yes, I love to talk about this. So obviously, the reproductive and sexual health care, all the services that we provide every day are critical. But I, again, am going to give an education example. So we run every year a health and wellness focused summer camp called Camp Me, which you've been a part of several times as a presenter and a volunteer. And the parent and camper feedback we get from the people that we engage with makes it so abundantly clear how needed these education services are and how needed it is to have spaces for kids to just feel safe and figure it out, whether they're Q+ or not, or think they might be or not, or they're trying out something new. Creating that space for them to do that while they're also learning and connecting with their peers. Those little pieces of feedback that we get from parents that are like, this is the first time that they've been able to go by their pronouns that they want to go by, and everyone has respected it for the entire week.
Wow.
Or, this is the best camp that my kid's been to all summer. Like, this is the one she was up and out of bed for every day. This is more than she's ever learned in school. Like, all those little pieces of feedback really help us to keep going, right? In the everyday of like, this is difficult work, but when we know that it means a lot to the kids for us to be there, and it means a lot for the parents who just feel so lost and overwhelmed in how to have these conversations, those are the moments of impact that we're like, okay, like we're doing the right thing, we're doing the good work.
No, well, that's just incredible to know that when young people go into your care and they have this level of respect and affirmation that they haven't got elsewhere is, I mean, that's just so life affirming.
Right.
Sarah, where can our listeners go to find out more information about PP-SWO? That rhymes.
So our website is www.ppswo.org. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, which is PP-SWOHIO, so PPSWOHIO.
Nice.
And you have to be very careful because there's also Planned Parenthood Southwestern Oregon. So their acronym is very similar. So PP-SWOHIO is our social handles.
Gotcha.
Also within our website, we have a blog that they put up pretty regular blog posts on a variety of topics. And yeah, we're always out somewhere out in the community teaching, or like I said, tabling at an event, sitting at Pride. So lots of places you can find us.
That's great. Yeah, so feel free to check out those resources. And with much love to Oregon, remember you're in Ohio. We have a better flag. Sir, is there anything else you would like folks to know about PP-SWO? That rhymes again.
I think just lifting up the reality that we're under attack right now, not just the healthcare services that we provide, but also education. There's Ohio's version of Don't Say Gay, which we're having to figure out how to navigate in schools so we're not creating any unsafe environments for Q+ kids. And we need support now more than ever so that we can keep providing the critical, life-saving, life-changing reproductive and sexual health care and education work that we strive to provide every single day.
Yeah. And the library certainly supports everyone's right to stay informed and form their own opinions on all legislative issues. So yeah, we would love for folks to continue to dig deeper. Well, this has been amazing, and it's now time. Let's see how.
Wait, there's a question on there I really wanted to answer.
Oh my goodness.
You asked me like how I feel about the library, or relationship I have with the library or something like that?
That is for a later segment.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So,
I was so excited to answer that one.
She's chomping at the bit to talk about how much she loves the library.
I do love the library so much.
And she's doing this for free. We didn't pay her anything. Well, before we get to that.
Okay, so sorry.
That's
I'm a
okay.
terrible guest. I was like, wait, you're interviewing me wrong.
No, you're totally fine. Before we get to that, it's time to fan out. So Sarah, you actually alluded to this just a second ago. Are you a fan of libraries?
I'm sorry I wrote it. I am a huge fan of libraries, of Dayton Metro Library specifically. I remember when I was a kid, every Saturday, my mom is an avid reader, and every Saturday we would come to the library to pick up the books. This was before Kindles and e-readers, and
right.
if I can't say Kindle, I'll just say e-readers, if that's a name drop. And so we would come every weekend. And now, as an adult, I go to my local branch constantly. I actually just joined a book club up there.
Oh, wonderful.
It's called T. It's like thrillers, enigmas, and adventures. It's a mystery thriller book club. It's so much fun. I love the books that they've picked so far. And just from a professional standpoint, I mean, you know how often we've hosted trainings here and we've partnered with the library in so many different ways.
Yes.
And I think there's so much overlap between what the values that we operate on in the library. It's choice, it's knowledge, it's empowerment, it's autonomy, it's being included and affirmed. And so I just think the library is such a wonderful place for those values to sort of carry on. So personally, professionally, I'm a huge fan of the libraries and Dayton Metro specifically, and I love that the city of Dayton, that I love so much, has such a robust library system, because I really do think it adds so much value to our communities.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we love to serve folks. We love being a space where everyone can come and learn and connect, and yeah, we just love hearing that. Oh, did you hear that? Pretend you do.
I do.
Wow. I think it's time to spill the tea, the QT history.
Oh.
As science starts with data, so does history start with what we call primary sources, the documents or artifacts from the time period being studied. Queer and trans history is so often erased and neglected because of a lack of primary sources. This is especially true with regards to the long and rich history of gender-affirming care. Sadly, German Nazis destroyed many of these early records. The good news is that good historians work with what they can to rescue such history. If you're curious to learn more about transgender trailblazers and how they accessed gender-affirming medical care over 100 years ago, look no further than The Intermediaries, a Weimar Story. Written by Ohio historian Brandy Scalece, it chronicles the story of trans woman patient Dora Richter, gay sexologist Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld, and Berlin's Institute for Sexual Science. Check it out today with your Dayton Metro Library card. And now, folks, it's the time we've all been waiting for. The most exciting moment for bibliophiles everywhere. Our final segment, Rainbow Reading Rex. So, Sarah, now is the time for my favorite part of the podcast, and one of my favorite aspects of being a librarian. It's called Reader's Advisory, when a librarian uses their expertise and their knowledge to curate a suggestion for a book that they think a patron will love to read. So I have a book hidden under here, and don't judge a book by its cover, Sarah.
I'm not. It's quite a large book.
Yes, and I think you're going to love it based on just what you do and what you like. So without further ado, I'm going to reveal...
Oh, Pip!
Pip! Pip, what are you doing here? Oh, okay, I'm going to go find the book real quick. Sorry about that, Sarah.
That's okay.
And we're back, and Pip is off to take a nap. So this is actually the book that I picked out for you. So without further ado, let's try this.
Oh no!
Don't try this at home. Okay, I have for you My Child is Trans, Now What by Ben Green,
Love
a
it.
joy-centered approach to support. So I know you work with folks of all ages, including parents, in education spaces. This is a phenomenal book written by a trans person about how do you approach parenting a trans kiddo with love and joy instead of fear and anxiety. So I just thought that might be right up your alley.
Absolutely. We get these kinds of questions all the time from parents, not only about the parenting component, but just how do I have this conversation about relationships or identity or puberty? And so we do a lot of helping parents to figure that out while also allowing them to respect and lift up their own family values.
That's just so phenomenal to hear. Yeah, respecting folks where they are, respecting their values. Dear, that sound means we are out of time. Sarah, one last time, could you share how do folks find more info about PPSWO?
Yes, so our website, www.ppswo.org, and we're also on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at PPSWOhio, so PPSWOHIO.
Fantastic. Folks, Join us next time on Rainbow Resources, and in the meantime, come check out the Dayton Metro Library, where everyone is free to belong.